Hi, my name is Raj Lakshmi and I'm here to present the end-to-end project about Telangana tourism, and I would like to thank Dhaval Patel for providing this project. I'm working on the current challenge, which is to provide insights to Telangana Government Tourist Department. Through this link, I have downloaded all the required files for this project. So to work on this project, we are provided with these four CSV files, which is for domestic visitors, and the foreign visitors four files. These are the four files for foreign visitors and four files for domestic visitors, and the clear instructions about what is needed and how we have to proceed with our project. So thank you so much for this clear insight and the clear guidance about this project. Our first task is to consolidate all these files into one master file. I'm going to use Python to consolidate all those four files into one master file. I'm using Google Colab for my Python codes, and I'm going to import all those required libraries now. Now we are done with importing all the required libraries. Let's start merging the files into one main master file. So to get the data from my drive, I'm going to mount this to my drive. These are my files. So these are the domestic files, which is from 2016 to 2019, which is in the domestic visitors folder. And these are the four CSV files, which is from 2016 to 2019 in my foreign visitors folder, which is in my drive. So I'm going to use DM1 as the data frame name. And to read the first 2016 CSV file, I ran this command. To check if I got the right file, I just ran this syntax, and now we have first four rows, which is correct. So now that I ran the command to read all the remaining three files, and to confirm, I ran this syntax and I got 372 rows and 5 columns. Now that I'm going to merge all these four files into one master file, I'm going to run this append function or syntax. I already ran this code, and now when we have to check the shape of this complete master file, we have 1512 rows and 5 columns. So now our consolidation is completed. So this confirms that. Now we have to extract that master file into the drive path. So I mentioned this as the drive path. This is the domestic visitor folder, and I have named it as just the domestic visitor and in the CSV file format. So this is the file name for the consolidated file. After running these code, let's just check if we have the right files. So again, the same thing, we have first 5 rows here, which is correct. And now let's merge all these 4 files into one master file for foreign visitors as well. And now it's extracted into the CSV file. So let's extract the CSV file, and I'm going to save this in the path in my drive. And I have a CSV file, which is the consolidated one for this foreign visitor, and for domestic visitors as well. I have this consolidated file here. Before we start the project, let's understand a little bit about Telangana. Telangana state has 33 districts. Telangana has great potential for tourism. Most visited places are all these places which I mentioned there. And the capital of Telangana is Hyderabad, and the most visited places or the main cities in Telangana is Hyderabad and Warangal. And tourist attraction in Telangana is about historical places, monuments, forts, waterfalls, forests, and temples. The first requirement of this project is to get the top 10 districts that has highest number of domestic visitors overall for 2016 from 2016 to 2019. I got this master file imported into my SQL. I created a separate database, which is the tourism project, and I imported these files in this database. So these are the domestic visitors and the foreign visitors file, which has got total 1512 rows and 5 columns, which you can see here. And this is for foreign visitors, and this is for domestic visitors. This is the code that I ran here. So which is select district and sum of visitors, and I'm going to name the sum of visitors. I'm giving the alias as total visitors, and then I just ran these for 10, limit 10, and then I got this out. Let me just run this. Okay, so I got this output here where these are the top 10 domestic visitors districts, where these are the top 10 districts where we have the good number of domestic visitors. The top 10 the districts which received high domestic visitors during 2016 to 2019. Our next requirement is to find the top 3 and the bottom 3 districts based on the compounded annual growth ratio. As I have good skills in Excel, I tried this first in Excel sheet and then I tried this in MySQL. So this is the formula where this is the end point and divided by the starting point to the power of 1 by whatever the number of years that we have. So which have 4 years data here. So we have just mentioned 4 and just have everything subtracted by -1. So this is the formula for CAGR ratio. And these are the top 3 and the bottom 3 districts based on the CAGR ratio. So I worked on Excel and got this output. So let's just try this on SQL, which I ran, which you were using CTE and the pivot frame. And I got this and I rounded up to the 2 decimal output. And this is what I have here. This is from the temporary table, which is the CT table as A. So this is my temporary table and I just got the output from this and I've worked on it using the round command here to round up the decimal value for 2 digits. Let me run this output. Alright, so I got this top 3 districts which has got the highest CAGR ratio. The CAGR ratio is mainly to understand that what's the growth over the period, over the years. And we can eventually see that the growth over the years is pretty good here, where in 2016 the domestic visitors or the overall visitors were very less, and eventually the overall visitors have been improving. So yes, so this is something which we can see a good number of improvement in the growth rate as well. Using the SQL formula, I just ran the SQL code and then got the output for top 3 and bottom 3 CAGR ratios. As already mentioned, CAGR formula is final value divided by starting value to the power of 1 by n minus 1. And these are the top 3 districts which has got high CAGR ratio. And these are the bottom 3 which has got very less growth ratio. And our next requirement is to check the peak and the low seasons for Hyderabad. I'm going to use the same SQL tool to get the output for this requirement. And here again I created the temporary table, which is the CTE, and here again I have just used the same method to get I just pivoted the data here and I try to get the top 4 so here the reason why I consider June as well is because of the exceptionally high domestic visitors during 2016 in the month of June. So this is something which is exceptionally high, and that could be any discrepancy in the data, or the tourists were actually that high during that particular month in that year. Consider this as one of the peak season, but it may not be the peak season because this is the exceptional data that we have here. And the second month is the Christmas period, where where everyone, even the kids and the elderly people, will be able to go on a holiday and visit all the nice places around. So this is the reason why domestic visitors would prefer to go to Hyderabad to visit all those beautiful places, and this could be the peak season. And Dussehra again, the public holiday time where the kids and even the parents and the teachers would be on leave. So this could be one of the best period or the peak season for tourism. And the New Year time is always a period for vacations. So this is one of the best season for this tourism. Low season months for Hyderabad tourism. So as we have the overall visitors data here, so domestic visitors are more compared to the foreign visitors, and we see that the February, March and September, these 3 months we received less visitors to Hyderabad. The reason could be because of the examination, where All the students are battling the examination fear. Indian parents, they quarantine themselves and their whole family members till the examination ends. And February, as we know that the February time is for the preparatory examination time, March being the final examination time, and September is the half yearly examination time. So the examination time is always a crucial time for parents and children, and they would definitely not prefer traveling around. So this could be the reason why there's a low uh, tourism during that period. The next requirement is to get the domestic to foreign ratio. So I'm going to use Python to get this output. I just ran all these commands and then I'm going to print the output here. So this is for overall domestic foreign visitors for all the year overall, and then now I need only top 3 and bottom 3, so I just got this top 3 and bottom 3 data here using Python. After running the output in Python, I wanted to cross-check the output, so I ran the same on Excel, and this is what the output that I have from Excel. So this is what the output we have for Adilabad and these other places. So these are the highlighted ones, and I'm going to check the top 3 here. So the top 3 is Adilabad and Jai Shankar, Bhupalli, and this is the Nagarkurnool. So this is what we have for the top 3 because we have the data for all 2016 to 2018. Although this is the top one, but we don't have the data for other few years. We have only for 2018, so this is discarded. And all these 4 years data that we have, so we have to consider only those 4-year data. So this is what the Python shows us as top 3 district, which is perfect. And for bottom 3 we have this one, which is the Hyderabad, Mulugu and Warangal here. But here when I just consider Mulugu, we have only one output here that is only for 2019, and this is the output only, and then we don't have the output for other 3 years. So I'm not going to consider this one, and I'm going to take the last one, which is the Mehboob Nagar, as the last bottom 3. So I'm going to consider Mehboob Nagar, Warangal and Hyderabad as the last or the bottom 3 districts with the D to F ratio. The top 3, which is Alidabad, Jaishankar, Bhupalli and then Nagarkurnool, and the bottom 3, which is Mehboob Nagar, Warangal and Hyderabad. Far we check the top 10 districts, the top 3 districts and the bottom 3 districts with the CAGR ratio, and the peak and the low season for Hyderabad, and the D to F or the domestic to foreign tourist ratio of for overall for all the years. So now next, just let's move to this one where we need some more research work to get the next output. So for which we wanted the population for 2019, which is something which we don't have it, which is not readily available in internet. So I got the projected population data from ChatGPT. So these are the districts and the population for all those districts as per this is the projected population, and this is the data which I received from ChatGPT. And there are few name differences here where Bhupalli is spelled little different and Mehboob Nagar is also spelled different, and what we have in our file is Mitchell, and here it is Mitchell some little extra characters added onto it. So these are something that we have here, but this is the output which I received from ChatGPT, and I made little corrections to it, and I was able to derive the next result. The requirement is that we need to check top 5 and bottom 5 districts based on the population to tourist footfall ratios. I have the output here in Excel file, and this is the population which I got from ChatGPT. This is the projected population, and these are the overall visitors data which we have from the consolidated files which we had, which we used on Python. Output from ChatGPT was different. So Bhupalli was spelled differently, and Mehboob Nagar and there were few Mitchell was also spelled differently. I had to make those necessary corrections, and then I got the footfall ratio here. In the districts, the footfall ratio is calculated as overall visitors divided by the total population. This is just a simple calculation to check the footfall ratio. And these are the top 5 districts with the high footfall ratio, where the visitors are more than the population, and here these are the bottoms one where visitors are less than the overall population. These are the top 5 districts with high footfall ratio. This shows that the total visitors were more than the residents. And these are the places where we receive very less tourists. The next requirement is to get the numbers, the projected numbers of domestic and foreign tourists in Hyderabad for the year 2025 based on the annual growth. This is a simple formula for annual growth where if 27 is the current month, then the current month minus the previous month divided by the previous month. So overall growth. So this is what we calculate here. So this is what I've calculated for 2017, 18 and 19. So these are the ones for foreign visitors. So these are the annual growth rate. So basis which I have projected these output for 2020 until 2025 for domestic and foreign visitors. The average growth rate for domestic visitors is actually reducing. So we see the negative value here is dipping year by year, but the foreign visitors numbers are increasing. So there is a growth in foreign visitors. But the formula is just that I'm going to add the previous month plus the growth rate with the overall visitors date. So this is just that. So 2019 has this many visitors plus these many visitors into the growth percentage. So that would be the overall visitors. So as it's negative, we have less visitors compared to 2019, and then it just goes on, it just goes dipping for 2025 because that's the negative growth rate. And for foreign visitors, we see good number of improvement here. Next question is to estimate the projected revenue for Hyderabad for the year 2025 based on the average spend. So these are the numbers which were provided. I'm not going to take these numbers. I have a different calculation based on my research. Using these approximate numbers, I calculated the projected average spend per tourist for 2020 to 2025, and the average spend per tourism for the year 2025 for domestic users is 5,000 plus, and then for foreign users it's 10,000 plus. Using my projected spend per tourist for 2025, I just multiplied that with the number of visitors that we had for the projected domestic and foreign visitors, and based on that output I just got this output where the total revenue for 2025 for domestic visitors is 3212 crores, and for foreign visitors is 362 crores. And this is for 2021, and this is for 2022, 2023, 24 and 25. So this is for domestic users, and these are the foreign users. Based on my research, I got report for 2022 crime rate report, and it says that there is an increase in 4.4 percentage during 2022. The crime rate has increased by 4.4 percentage, and the annual crime rate released by the Director General of Police Mahendra Reddy also shows that the cyber crime increased by 57%. So this is what we have here. And these are the cyber crime, white collar crime, kidnapping, and the crime against women, which increased by these many percentage, whereas murder, dacoity, and rape has increased by these many percentage. These are the ones which I have as my research output. Telangana cleanliness rating. Based on the 2022 report that I have here, Telangana has maintained very good cleanliness rating, and it has bagged 12 awards, where Secunderabad and other places of Telangana has got the cleanliness award. Extending my research work on infrastructure report, I could not find the data for 2022, but the latest what I got is for 2020. Based on this report, Telangana was ranked as 24th on the ease of living ranking among 49 cities. Central government has launched the Ease of Living Index and Municipal Performance Index to assess the performance of various cities. So based on the Ease of Living Index, Telangana received 41 rank when it comes to citizen perception, which is not that good. So they scored really low in citizens perception, and they scored really less in quality of living criteria. They got 34 rank out of 49 cities, and the economic ability is in 17th rank, which is a good one, and sustainability is also in 11th rank, which is pretty good. The performance ranking overall for Telangana state is, when it comes to services, Telangana is in 45 rank, and finances 12th rank, technology 13th rank, planning 17th rank, and governance 9th rank. Here the ninth question is the district with highest potential, and which district has highest potential for tourism growth, and what actions government can take. Here we have the districts with high potential, Hyderabad, and these are the other four districts which has a good potential. The reason being these are the famous places that every tourist wants to visit. In Hyderabad we have Ramoji Film City, Golconda Fort, Charminar, and Birla Mandir, which are really famous. And the other districts are also well known for many other very famous places. What are the actions that can be taken by government to improve tourism in these high potential districts? Scope for betterment is always a requirement. In my opinion, fair pricing is really important, and government should create a separate taxi lane or an auto lane for the visitors near airports or near the railway station to encourage fair pricing to save them from being looted by local drivers. As we all know that when we enter into a new city, local drivers can charge us more than the normal rates, and that has to be a fair pricing so that the tourists won't really feel that they are overcharged. Infrastructure has to be improved, providing metro connectivity from airport or the railway stations to all the major tourist places are the main focus area. Hospitality, arranging an affordable chauffeur to receive visitors to take them to must visited places with a walkable pricing. Websites for travel cabs. The way we have websites to book the hotel well in advance, it's good to have the website to even book the travel cabs or the local cabs well in advance. So building a website to book the local cabs with the travel planning, pricing per kilometer, BATA if applicable beforehand to avoid travel hassles. Organizing an awareness campaign to create awareness to all public transport operators like drivers about maintaining integrity and dignity with the visitors and create delightful travel experiences. Next requirement is to get the recommendation for cultural corporate events to boost tourism. And what are the events, which months and districts? Let's discuss about that. Events to attract tourism in Telangana. First in my list is Nawab's Feast Day. Mir Osman Ali Khan, who was the famous ruler and he was the last ruler of Hyderabad. A cultural event to remember the ruler's accomplishment and depict his dynasty expansion history, which showcase the esteemed heritage of Hyderabad to the visitors. The next is the belly tour. As we have this kind of a beautiful temple which is in the form of a snake, and the tourists can enter to the temple through the belly, the snake belly, which is something which is very attractive for the tourists. So the belly tour can be conducted so that we can have a own mythological event there inside the tunnel, and that can really create a beautiful tourist attraction, and people would really love to visit such place. The third recommendation that I have here is the Heritage Festival. Ramana Temple, the Telangana's first UNESCO World Heritage Site. So driving a social event here to celebrate this achievement can boost the tourism. Best months to conduct such events. In my opinion, April or November are the best months to conduct such events. Next question is, can Hyderabad emulate Dubai model? Provide the insights based on research. Can Hyderabad emulate Dubai? The city of Hyderabad must endeavor to enhance various facets of its development in order to attain a comparable level of progress to that of Dubai. Revamp the perception. As we saw in our previous slide that the citizen perception was really low, so we need to work upon improving the citizen perception and also the foreign perception to improve the tourism. Focus on foreign tourists. Dubai is filled with most luxurious hotels, and the world's seven-star hotel is only in Dubai. Hyderabad has many luxurious hotels that has attracted many tourists so far. However, The commute experience to these luxury hotels needs attention by improving road condition and better traffic control system. Know what is needed. Dubai and Goa has been best for nightlife. Foreign tourists are more attracted towards the exclusive and the luxurious nightclubs. Without affecting the local culture and maintaining the public safety, Hyderabad government need to arrange for most exclusive nightlife events and make the city as most happening city to attract more tourists. Hyderabad to become the tourist hub of Telangana and other neighboring states. Dubai is an in-transit hub to many countries, and even Hyderabad is also the same. It's also an in-transit hub in India. However, being a tourism hub is something which we need to focus upon, and providing the well-designed infrastructure for better connectivity to intercities and interstate states, benefiting the tourism to travel to their next destination in very less time, helps the tourism improve. Other recommendations to boost tourism in Hyderabad. Eco-friendly tourism by utilizing mainly electric cars and electric two-wheelers for tourism. Collaboration is the key. Collaboration between government agencies, tourism agencies, and local travel agents to develop and implement effective tourism strategies is the best key. Color adds more value. Encouraging artistic paintings and art culture on walls of public places, parks, etc., depicting the transition phase from old centuries to the present, will enhance the glory of the city and attract more visitors. This was about the presentation and the insight about Telangana tourism. Thank you.